Random disclaimer. Hey.
Honestly, in this, I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of smoking and talking, so I'm just going to be doing a lot of the smoking and then just cutting in. So if that's why this looks teeny tiny, that's why. Mainly because I don't really like smoking and talking about my inner child because children don't smoke. Excuse me, let me just put this on. The inner child. So I personally had a very unstable childhood. I had an abusive childhood sprinkled in with some good times. And sometimes when we have an abusive childhood sprinkled in with good times, we feel a lot of shame and guilt and embarrassment and a lot of things that can carry on to adulthood. And I know you guys have probably heard the whole term parenting your inner child, and it could probably be confusing to you. I know it was to me at first because I'm like, I'm not a child anymore, girl. Like, how am I supposed to, like, what does that even mean? How do you parent yourself? And if parenting yourself is what I've been doing, it's not just hyper independence and not healthy, you know? So I was just really confused when I first heard about people with childhood trauma doing that. So then I started picking up some books on connecting with your inner child because I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know what I liked to do as a child. I didn't really know my identity as a child. I was always told to be seen and not heard, to listen to what adults tell me to do. Like, I kind of just wanted to be good, and I didn't really know, like, who I was as a child, what I liked to do, or anything. I didn't really start forming a sense of self until I was a tween, you know, started liking anime and you know, all that cool stuff, you know, being a barb, all that shit you do when you're a tween, you find yourself. But as a child, I don't know. Like, I vividly remember the transition from tween to teeny and how those were two completely different people, but I did not know who my inner child was. And how I found out is when I had bouts of depression. Now, let me scoot up for this though. Whenever you're sad or you're angry at yourself and you're feeling the things that you're saying to yourself, you're saying that to your inner child. So when you're saying stuff like, oh my God, I'm so stupid, or oh my God, why can't I ever get anything right, or oh my God, I'm so embarrassing, or oh my God, nobody will ever want me, like stuff like that, right? That is the parental voice in your head talking to the child inside of you. So when people say reparent your inner child, they're really saying check yourself and check how you're talking to yourself, because like the old saying goes, how the fuck can you expect somebody to treat you right when you don't even treat yourself right? You don't even know the bare minimum of how to fucking treat yourself right. And by yourself, i.e. your child. So if you have problems because of an abusive childhood, or just maybe a childhood full of shame, or just abuse, or any type of, you know, like, and it may be hard for you to genuinely pinpoint, like, oh yeah, when I was 7, I liked to play with dolls. Like, you know, like, if it's hard for you to do that, recognize your inner child by doing that's what I did. Like the other day I had a really low moment and just saying a lot of bad things to myself, just like, you know, like things like this is how you deserve to feel, and like things are just it is what it is. That's another thing, just constantly suppressing yourself over and over, being like, it is what it is, it is what it is, it's not gonna get better, it just is what it is. And I noticed that I kept using more language like, this is just what being an adult is. Like, this shit is not easy. This shit's hard. You don't get what you want. People don't act how they're supposed to act. And it's like, I had to stop. And I was like, whose voice is that in my head? That is not me, right? Like, that's not me. I don't view myself as this negative person. Like, I like people. I like animals, I like being outside, like I don't know, I just don't view myself as this negative, dark, angry person. And I'm like, who is this voice that is always being so angry and dark and negative to my inner child? And it was the voice of my parents. And it's not just one parent, like and I grew up majority with one parent, and it's not one parent. Like, I hear my father's voice sometimes saying stuff to me, like shaming me for lying, or like stuff like that. And then I hear my mother's voice, just basically shaming me, telling me like I'm not enough, you know. And I hear my grandmother's voice when maybe I should have handled the situation with a little bit more sensitivity and passiveness. I hear her voice of, oh, maybe you should have just, be quiet, because that's just how people are, and I had to check myself, like, though, that's not me. That's what other people put on me, and whenever I have those thoughts of like, I'm worthless, I'm not enough, I stop myself and I remind myself, you are talking about her, and she does not fucking deserve that. Just because it was so easy for everybody else to do it to me doesn't mean I have to just fall in suit. And that, in short, is just how you do it, right? Like, I don't know any other way to explain it, because that's just how I relate. Because of my experiences, I know some people, for them, discovering their inner child is, maybe you work too much. Maybe you work all the time. Maybe you've been in school nonstop since you graduated high school, went straight to grad school, went straight into the medical field, or went straight and got your bar or whatever, and you just never stopped and went and like played in the rain, or like got dirty, or like, maybe played Uno, or like, get in touch with your childish side. Maybe you need to go watch Big with Tom Hanks. I don't know. So, like, it's not all trauma based, but because I did have a lot of childhood trauma, it was harder for me to really resonate with her. I did read this book. It's called like Healing Your Inner Child, or Getting to Know Your Inner Child. I'll link it in the description. I think I might just make a list on my Amazon storefront of just books that I'm reading if you guys are interested. But I don't recommend that book if you are a victim of religious trauma specifically, though, because they do have a lot of God and faith oriented, like similar to like recovery AA type stuff. But if you don't have religious abuse, I definitely do advise that. And just touching on religion again with childhood trauma, with my inner child, it's just whenever I feel lonely, because that's just something that I've always struggled with, is I just get this intense loneliness. Like, it's just so dark, it's just so lonely. Is going to God and reminding myself that there is unconditional love in this universe. And I'm here for a reason, and I need to enjoy my time here. And yeah, that's all I got to say. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Please go outside, drink some water. I left my water in the house, so I'm about to go right now, burning up. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being interested in me still. And I'll see you next time. Peace.